Hello. On the right side, we have the champion among distros, Uncle Mint, on DistroWatch. On the left side, the newcomer who is taking on the champion. CacheOS comes from caches, with the principle of being particularly fast. I expect a fair fight. May the best win. Round 1. Looked at your setup. First you ask me to choose a boot manager without explaining what those really mean. Then I have to select the right packages and even a desktop environment. Nobody understands that. My setup gets the job done. Just enter username, password, install it, and you are done. Well, your setup isn't that simple either. I, on the other hand, have more options. Regarding boot managers, good heaven, just read the documentation. It's all explained there. In general, you should read more documentation if you want to use my system. After all, I'm based on Arch, and setting that up often requires documentation. I'll explain it briefly. Systemd boot is the simplest and fastest. Grub is a classic and can handle encrypted boot partitions. Refined is graphical, like you know it from Macintosh. You know, finally a bit of flashy stuff. Then there's Limine, or Limine, which uses BTIFS by default and allows snapshots. What? Butterfly system? No, my setup is better because it's more intuitive. It has to work without documentation. And then flashy stuff with refined and then documentation, that contradicts itself. Doku? I have something better for you. Hadoku! Round 2. Okay, so installing VLC wasn't just easy, it was extremely fast. Look and see how fast it even starts. Yeah, that may be true, but how do you present your applications? A front end with text in a window and a response bar? That thing has gotten stuck on you before, hasn't it? Sorry, but my software manager is much more elegant. It may be not as fast as yours, but it's very precise and user-friendly. Thanks to Ubuntu and Debian, it's also very solid. You know, my Pacman mostly just unpacks, because the apps are supposed to configure themselves. That's their responsibility. Besides, my packages are optimized for various 64-bit x88 variants. Mine is better and above all faster. Round 3. My Cinnamon desktop is simply beautiful and well-rounded. You're presenting KDE Plasma? Almost every distro does that. That's nothing special. You know, Plasma has many features, leaving no wish unfulfilled. Plus, you can choose another desktop. And the community is larger because KDE improvements come from almost all other distros. We benefit from that. Don't make me laugh. I focus on Cinnamon and I have integrated it properly, so the project's focus is better. It has enough features and precisely the important ones thanks to the years of feedback I have collected from the forums over the years. You know what? Forum superpower, take that! Round 4. For everything proprietary, like NVIDIA, I have a user-friendly driver manager. Even if something doesn't work, the user can always use other drivers. Don't make me laugh. I installed myself with NVIDIA support automatically and detected the correct driver myself and set everything up correctly. Either it works right away or it doesn't. If it doesn't work, then the OS design isn't good, you know. My OS is so good, I don't need a driver manager. Try this. Super Punch. Round 5. Look at this scheduler. With it I can finally define the priority patterns of running processes and thus squeeze out the last bit of performance. My software manager is so simple and to the point. Seriously, are those your applications? How do you make bug reports? Do you have your own text editor? How do you manage software sources? Writing USB sticks? Updater? Or does Pacman have to do everything again? Your tools already exist in KDE and elsewhere. Anyway, why do you have other tools? Just use what's already there. Well, you have to install some of them afterward. It's not cleanly integrated, and please don't mention the software manager again. Mine really guides the user properly. Freeze! Round 6. Look at my awesome FPS. Everything is fluid here. Well, mostly due to the graphics card. Honestly, it doesn't run that much worse on my end either. And let it be a maximum of 1%, which the user won't even notice anyway. Microsoft runs wonderfully as the Flatpak and will remain more secure and compatible thanks to the sandboxing. Take this! Round 7. Well, my kernel manager is hidden because you have to be careful with it. I have a few versions to support new hardware. You don't need more than that. This kind of experimentation is also dangerous and can lead to hard to debug errors. You really have to be a professional to handle it. I can equip the kernel with parameters as I wish. Look at these options, C and C++. Hey, these are very performant languages. If you want to learn more, check out my book, available on Amazon. Unfortunately still in Germany, but who knows for how long. And if you can do all that, then you can build the best system yourself. Get into that compiler and get faster. Round 8. Well, looking at it, I like this. I like my OS. I respect that. But if you want for people to have something more simple and user-friendly, I give them what I have. I'm sorry, but meanwhile, you also have old core components. Yes, they are stable, thanks to Debian and Ubuntu, but my stuff, as a rolling distro, is just always up to date. Boom! Alright, I'd say it's a draw. And I think some things that were judged as disadvantages here can be seen as advantages. For now, I stay at number 1 on DistroWatch. That's how the site wants it. And we will see how things go in the future. The rank isn't that important with distros, but rather the people who work on these projects. And you, Cashy Boy, have really pulled some great things out of the Arch Linux distro and achieved more performance thanks to your patches. There's a specific user group for you and another one for me. And that is what Linux is all about. The user should simply choose what they like best. For some, you are the winner. For others, it is me. It was nice battling with you, and I wish you all the best with your project. Well, thank you. You're totally fine. I am rooting for you too. We have a draw. Both OSs have their strengths and weaknesses. In the end, you decide what works best for you. That's it from my side, and I keep this outro short. See you in the next video.